Morning everyone. 26th of the 1st today. I'm feeling quite racy, quite edgy today. And sometimes I can have periods of time where there can be various things that I can hear in the news. I might hear other people talk about it. A big one for me is could be something from going to get my eyes checked. It might sound a bit crazy, from getting my eyes checked to having my ears checked. Lots of different things, and in the centre somehow a topic will form itself. And my little war cry today is what gives, as an individual, what gives you the right to hurt somebody else, regardless of the age, regardless of the innocence level. What gives anybody the right to hurt somebody else? Guaranteed that if one person is thinking that they can do something to someone else and get away with it, it doesn't happen that way. Karma, Mother Nature, call it what it be, it just does not happen that way. In the end, someone pays for it. In my case, I'm fucking paying for it. I'm paying for it. No, it was not me that hurt someone else. It was other people that have done damage to me. And as an end result of that, be it physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, I'm a damaged unit. I really am a damaged unit. I don't get up every day thinking, what can I head down, bum up into today to commiserate about? I don't. I try, every day I try to get up and be the best person I can possibly be. And as I shared when I first opened, I've had an insurmountable amount of abuse happen to me in my life. Insurmountable, unsurmountable. I can't think of which is the appropriate word, and it's not really that relevant. But anyway, an incredible amount of abuse. I'm not the only person in this world that has endured things as such. I'm not the first, I'm not the last. Needless to say, someone took my innocence, or someone took control of my innocence and abused it in every way, shape, whatever you want to call it. I'm not specifically talking about sexual abuse. I'm talking about domestic violence. Yes, there is sexual abuse in there too, but for myself, they are two different categories. Two, I need to be exceedingly careful how I word these things. Yes, perpetrators have passed, age, unwell. But that shit that was put on me, it stays. It stayed with me. It's still with me today. I hear it in the news. I hear it on the radio. Some poor little 2-year-old having the crap beaten out of him. And because mum and dad are what? Hooked on drugs? How bloody unfair is that? Especially for the little ones. I don't know about you, but to come into this world itself, I look at the innocence of a child This is just a hypothetical. I look at the innocence of a child. And in that innocence, within that innocence is that trust that whomever the adult is around me, that they will do right by me. I'm speechless. It's like my mind is zipping around at a zillion miles an hour, and I'm angry, I'm hurt. I don't want to go and hurt anybody, but I'd love to kill someone. Joke. Get that one. And that's just, as people say, I'll bloody do this to you, or bloody do that to you. Nobody has the right to impede anything on anybody else. So why the hell do they think they can do that? Why? As I said before, I'm wearing things today that happened to me 40 to 50 years ago. It's pretty sad when I'm talking in decades, but it's true. 40 to 50 years ago, things that were either misconstrued, someone had had too much to drink, someone was angry and just wanted to take their shit out on somebody else. So to, bolster their personal ego, they beat shit out of a 12-year-old or a 15-year-old. And truly, to sit back and think that none of that will have some kind of impact is deluded, absolutely delusional. That thing that I say, generally speaking, at the end of, this is my third share, and at the end of the first two shares, I've said what the Dalai Lama has shared. If you can't help, then don't hurt. And that seems to ring true for me today, right now. But I've got this big question mark at the end of it. Why did they pick me? Why? I doubt very much it was something that I was giving off to have been sort of singled out amongst many. This kind of hurt is what fucks people up. It fucks people over time and time and time again. And they lay dead in their fucking coffin, and they're still living in my fucking head. Excuse all my F's this morning. I had my hearing checked during the week. The gentleman that did my hearing test, he queried me in a very nice way. Has something major happened in my life? Because how I'm hearing things, there are certain sounds, there are certain letters that I can't hear, that I cannot hear. And when he said to me, I don't mean to be rude, but I would like to ask you, has something, he didn't use the term trauma-based, but has something happened that may have affected your hearing as you were growing up or recently? And it's like all these pennies dropped. All these pennies dropped. It's the Oprah Winfrey thing. All these pennies dropped. I'm a 57-year-old woman, and my hearing is lower than what a general 57-year-old's hearing is. And that's from being belted around in the head. Got to be honest, it's the only way I can put it. From being belted around the bloody head, something that I would never have asked for, and I still, today, do not ask for. Through domestic violence, I have the retina in my right eye displaced through domestic violence. Now, I'm not going to sit here and go, blah, 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 this is the person that did what. That's not helping me. It's not, that's just throwing anger, which would probably be bloody good for me to get out there and go for a run or do something just to physically try and move through this anger. It comes up, and if I don't do anything, it just settles back down. Might not settle back down in a hurry, but it will eventually somehow settle back down. I can hear it in my voice. I'm speaking louder. I'm speaking a lot quicker. I'm really upset. And I'm hurting. I'm hurting that there are arseholes in this world that think they have the right to just abuse someone's innocence. The poor little kids the few documentaries I've watched, I could have easily been one of those children. Easily. All my siblings. The innocence lost. The innocence lost. And not because of the child. Not because of the child. Because of the shitty-assed way someone hasn't looked at their own shit. And then I, or we, whatever it be, end up paying for it in the long run. Several years ago, I was put on medication, and that rotted all my teeth. So I had to have all my teeth. I had 13 teeth taken out in one sitting, one time. 13 teeth. As I said, my right eye, the retina is displaced through being hit, punched, hit. Now my hearing, I'm a bit of at a loss this morning. I don't specifically know what to say, because at this point I'm usually out of here. I'm gone, in the sense that I will try and run away from these feelings, unless of course I'm sitting and talking with a support person. But I do know, and I will say, that for many years I've sat back and thought to myself, if I didn't cop all that shit when I was younger, might have I had a much better life? Might I have had a much happier life, a more centered life? Might I just like who I am? Because I don't. All my fears that I talk about on here, my self-worth is what is underneath all those fears. I've never loved, I've never liked who I am. I've never thought I could achieve anything, that I could get anywhere in life. And to be honest, it feels like it was just a waste of time anyway.
if people wonder why I'm not looking at the camera, that's part of my shame. That's part of my embarrassment and my shame. Because it's like I'm looking at myself as I look into this camera. So I'm looking at me, even though there's X amount of people that would probably hear this. I'm still looking at me. For me, this is as raw as what it gets. There's probably a deeper level on it too. I mean, who wants to look ugly and red and puffed eyes and screwed up face and whatever, crying to a fucking camera because some asswipe couldn't control themselves. I used to go to school. I hated school because I knew I'd have to go home after. Don't get me wrong, home wasn't shit 24/7 all the time. Excuse me, sniffing. It wasn't shit all the time, but it was most of the time. Before my mum passed away, she, for some reason we ended up watching Once Were Warriors on TV. Now this is the only movie I've ever seen my mum moved in. Really emotional movement within her. I'm not saying Mum was specifically staunch. She was a very, very strong woman. But there's a part in there that the father has just laid into the mother. And the mother's gone in to see her daughter, teenage daughter, the following morning, day after, whatever it be. And the daughter just looked at her mum and says, I hate you both, and walks out. And my mum looked at me crying and said, is that what you kids think about me or us, as in Dad and herself? Because that's the shit that used to happen at home. Oh God, I hope my siblings are not going to hate me for this. And then I'd have to get up the next day and try and act like a normal person, in inverted commas. And try and act like nothing happened the night before. But knowing that I'm going home to this shit again. Be it the abuse directly to me, be it the abuse to a sibling. There is a long, there is a long, very long piece of string that's just so full of the abusive shit that is possible, that was possible, and what did happen. I have paid for this shit every day of my life. Every day of my life. My fears of walking out the door. My fears of going places. Just my fear of putting makeup on. My fear of not putting makeup on. And it's like I could sit back and go, what the fuck am I? As in the sense of who am I? How can I be the best of me when I've got all that shit running around controlling me? This is the guts, everyone. This is the guts of an unlived life. I truly feel that because of various instances, various experiences, that I've been too scared to live. just too damn bloody scared to live. Or if I have gone out and lived, it's sort of somehow caved in, collapsed. I don't know what the term is. But it's not turned out good. It's not turned out good. I feel like part of me just wants to go, well, fuck it, don't do this anymore, Tony. This is too hard. You know, there's going to be certain people that are going to be super shitty with you because you're sharing too much. There's obviously going to be someone that's going to say something to the effect of, oh, you just feel bloody sorry for yourself. I don't know how to feel any other way. I know this is going to sound really crazy. We are born with an element of innocence. We're born with that. I truly believe that it's up to the people that are caring and loving for us. It's their job, very much their job, to protect that innocence, to help us to learn to protect that innocence. And when that doesn't happen, what you're looking at now is a result of it. God, I need a bloody towel. Tissues are pathetic when I'm feeling like this. Oh God, excuse me, I've got to get a tissue. It is just... I'm just going to go for a walk while I get a tissue. It is something that I have always believed and always been so strong about when I had my children, that there was no way, absolutely no way was I going to do to my beautiful boys the shit that accompanied all that came my way when I was younger. Sorry, it's not the way here. I shared the other day, those of you who know my story, 2 of my boys talk to me and 2 of my boys don't. And I know it's rumours, but they're not nice rumours. I have never, ever done anything like that to my kids. And I shudder at the thought of it. I really do. I've heard the most horrendous rumours that I was violent with my kids. And I can honestly tell you I have not. God. Some people think they've had a rotten childhood because they might have had a smack on the bum. And yeah, this is going to sound very judgmental. And I apologise if I'm stepping on anyone's toes as I'm sharing what I'm sharing right now. Everyone copes with things their own way. Everyone has their abilities to cope with what they can cope with, depending on what their experiences are inside. Most people in life have 1 or 2 things happening. I just seem to have this continual line of chaotic shit happening. And I can't sit here and say it's your fault, point the finger. It's not very adult, shall we say. But whatever I do think at that given time, I can honestly say what is underneath all that is my hurt, is my pain, is my anger. How on earth is it fair for a little 3-year-old against a 110-kilo man? That shit don't make sense to me. It just does not make sense to me. Sorry. Well, I suppose I did say that I wanted to share the nitty-gritty. And just for today, this is the nitty-gritty for me. Some days it takes a little bit of time for me to process things. And that is through brain damage too. And it's proven. I rang my sister and I told her what had happened, and she always has such wonderful advice. She said, well, we can't change the past. We can only keep moving forward to the best of our ability. And through me sharing this shit, and I mean shit as in crap, because if it wasn't for this stuff, I would not be who I am today. And I'm not putting it in the okay box, I'm not, because it's not okay. I sure as shit didn't wake up and say, you know, can't beat the crap out of me. As a little girl, I didn't do that. It is very, very hard. So damn hard to just forget all that. To just move forward and forget all that. Because I can't. It is so embedded in me. I can't. I can't just not think about it. I can't. Because it's always there. Excuse me. Oh my God, I'm going to have to learn to edit and all that stuff. I mean, who wants to hear me sniffing and snotting away here? One thing that I have carried all my life is the shame around all of this, all of the domestic violence. Somehow, and this is what kids can do, somehow I've dragged all that in here inside of me and blamed myself for it. It's because I was fat, it was because I was ugly, it was because I was blonde, it was because my hair wasn't thick enough, it's because I didn't have very nice clothes. It was always something, some shitty bloody thing that I would manifest and just justify it in my mind. Because not once did anyone say what he did was wrong. Actually, I apologise. There were a couple of times there that a sibling would say to me, can you show me what Dad did to you last night? Don't get me wrong, I wasn't the only one. But I'm not here to share anyone else's story. That's not my story to share. I can only share my experience, mine. And I just pray to God that my siblings won't hate me for this. There is so much that is telling me, no, don't do it, don't share it. Keep it a secret, you know. That elusive bloody secret. The more I keep it a secret, the sicker I get. That is something I have worked out in my own spiritual journey. The more I keep it a secret, the sicker I get, and the stronger my mental health issues show themselves, be it the PTSD, be it the depression. I've actually sat at times and just screamed into a towel. I'm a good one for having nightmares. I'm being sarcastic as I say that. I've never been a big sleeper. But I've actually woken my neighbours up through screaming with my nightmares. When I was in hospital for my skin condition a couple of times, the nurses have come in wondering what on earth's going on because I'm up there screaming and kicking, and I kicked that little trolley thing that sits across the bed one time. I can't even remember what my nightmare was about, but I kicked it and it went flying under the bed next to me, and the poor lady was so scared she could hardly breathe. But she said to me the next morning, "Something really horrible has happened to you, Tony." And I just looked at her and said, "Why would you say that?" She said, "Listening to your words last night, listening to your swearing, and then you're screaming." And she said, and the screaming is just so shrill and so loud. She said, then you're physically fighting. This is all in my sleep. I'm physically fighting. Excuse me again. Now this all happened in my dreams. My boys have woken me up so many times in a nightmare. They won't come near me. They won't come up and shake my shoulder and say, Mum, you're having a nightmare. And that's because a couple of the times they've done that and I've come up swinging, which is, I've not connected with them. But even just the thought of coming up swinging to my own beautiful boys, it just makes me sick in the stomach. Other people, it just seems or feels like to me that other people can go through life and not have any of this shit, not know what it's like. I remember one time being at a birthday party and I don't know, something came up about if you had a wand, what would you want, what could you be? And this person said, I would love to fly. Well, I nearly burst into tears. And I nearly said, well, I know how to do that. I've been thrown across the room that many bloody times, so I know how to fly. Life can be really shit sometimes. But learning to cope with that shit is bloody hard. People say they understand, but they don't. I can see it in them. I hear it in their voices. It's in their tone. It's in their ability to be able to get the words out. I truly feel like, excuse me, it truly feels like, well, don't be friends with Tony because she's embarrassing. And rightly so. I have so much embarrassment and shame within. that I honestly have sat back all my life and said, well, Tony, no wonder you have no friends. Now I'm probably sounding like I'm feeling sorry for myself, and that's not what it's about. That's not what it's about. Those particular lines that I just shared, that's the way I have felt about myself all my life, my whole entire life. At school, I can remember that even a little tiny kid, the kids would get all excited. Mum and Dad said to pick them up. I stayed at a friend's place one time, and their dad got home. There were 3 girls in the family. And their dad got home, and all 3 of the girls ran to the front door and were jumping up and down, was so excited. And I was mesmerised, and I was absolutely gobsmacked, and I just said to my friend, why do you do that? Why do you jump up and down and be so happy that your dad's home? She said, because he's my dad and I love him. It just didn't make sense to me. Now that's sad. That's really sad. I've never ever jumped up and run to the door and gone, yay, Dad's home. Never. I hear the car and I run. I'm in my bedroom. I go play the piano. I go study the piano. I don't want to be anywhere near the lounge room. I don't want to be in sight of. I don't want to be heard, so I don't talk. And Mum would often say to me, sometimes I've got to say your name, Tony, to even know if you're still here. A couple of times we'd go on holidays. Mum said I was just always a really good kid, very quiet, just a really good kid. For me, it wasn't about being good, it was about being quiet, so I wouldn't be heard. I equated quietness with being left alone, with not only just being left alone, but not having the shit beaten out of me. Excuse me, a tissue again. Oh, good Lord. I'm so sorry about that. I feel embarrassed because I'm sitting here crying and blowing my nose and whatever. Oh, I will ask, please don't be mean on this one. Please. Sometimes to walk anywhere, to go anywhere, which I don't normally go places, I sit back and I can notice people. I just notice people, and it rolls in my mind, you know. It just rolls in my mind. What kind of childhood did you have? Are you happy in your life? You know, this constant set of questions that my brain always goes to. All I can say is I've got a big fat bloody headache now. I've talked double the amount of time. I am so scared, so damn scared as to how all this is going to be accepted or not accepted by people in the world. Because this shit's scary. This shit is really, really bloody scary. Somehow, growing, I feel like I'm moving backwards in a way. Like physically, we'll grow. We go forward. That's Mother Nature. It's very much Mother Nature. But mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, that becomes a choice. It truly becomes a choice if we want to move forward or not. I really don't think I grew very much. Or maybe I did and just wasn't aware of it growing up. I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. I really am at a loss for words. For those of you who can relate to any part of my story, please utilise what's out there, Lifeline, whatever it is. Please don't just sit with it and expect it to go away, because it won't. It won't go away until, I'll use an I statement, this shit will not leave me until I deal with it, till I walk my way through it. It's a bloody scary little track, I'll tell you. It may not be a very big track, but it's a very scary little track. Yep. Just another share. I'm probably sounding very condescending towards myself there. But realistically, it's just another share. I'm pretty sure there's going to be more times that I will sit here and have tears about something else again. And all these things culminated together to somehow make me. Fuck. Is it any wonder I don't have any esteem? Is it any wonder I don't have any self-worth? People tell me it's just a choice, Tony. You just choose it. It's as easy as that. I've been trying to choose it for 57 years. 57 years. It's a long haul. Please go and do something nice for yourself for today. Please. Excuse me. Sorry. Please go do something nice for yourself. Try and make something of life. If you have a little one, spend some time with them. Hug them and tell them how much you love them and how much you adore them. But don't just tell them. Be active in it. Be active in it. Throw a ball, whatever it be. Honestly, with children, 1 minute they're here, the next they're gone. All I ever wanted my entire life was to be a mum. It's the only thing. I had a stage there that I wanted to become a pianist, as in a concert pianist, and that obviously didn't follow through. I hit high school and Mum said it was like a switch turned. I hit high school and the switch just turned. I'm hoping that today will improve somewhat. I just want to go out and get on my horse and keep riding. Just don't turn back. Just keep going. Don't turn back. I love all you boys. I love all 4 of you. Just not just the next. There are no favourites in my games. More to the point, there's no favourites in my family. I don't go favourites. I don't play my boys one off each other. There was always a very strong component in our family. And one of my siblings used to share that so often, and it would just go straight over the top of me. Excuse me. Until a few years before my mum passed. And then I could see what she was talking about. It was all too late. I do miss my parents. My dad died about 25 years ago, and it's coming up 3 years, or just 3 years since my mum passed. And it's a void. This void that I cannot find something to fill the void. And I suppose in a sense I can liken that void to me. I have a void in my own life because I don't know how to be my own friend. That might sound really crazy, but it's how it is for me. I don't know how to be my own friend. I don't know how to be friends with anyone else. I truly hope you all have a lovely day. I really do. I truly hope that I can have a rest of some sort and wake up feeling better. Pray. Thank you for listening. Thank you.